Okay. So, Kayla, what you need to know is that when you were in Waterdeep, after handing in your mission to Acquisitions Incorporated and getting blasted out the door by the secretarian herself, you went to the Yawning Portal again, and you sat and you had a chat with Poltin, and Poltin laughed at the fact that you had insulted the Secretarian, and you were there for this. Laughed at the fact that you had insulted the Secretarian, who was and is probably the third most powerful person in the whole of Acquisitions Incorporated, the person who ascribes missions to people and who uses documancy at the highest level to communicate with people in a kind of email stroke text kind of way. Poltin also told you that he was now in with the what do you call it? He'd gone back to the people who were in charge of the Asmodeus cult and the rich aristocracy, and had told them that he would be he wanted to be a part of the game, the part of the mission to break out Omin Dran and to assassinate all of the duplicates, because his friend Strix was one of the people who was arrested along with Omin Dran and taken to the Ice Castle to spend the rest of their lives in prison. So Poltin is staying in back there. After that, you went, Triazamine, to bed, probably with Dre, and in the Yawning Portal. And when you woke up in the morning, Dre decided that Wake and Bake was the best thing, and not wanting to give you the shit stuff, he gave you the best stuff that he had, which was a kind of weed that he'd been saving that was called Waterdeep's Finest. Not Waterdeep's Finest, sorry, Greenwood's Finest. And you, for the last 16 hours or so, have been on a psychedelic trip. And you don't know what's been going on around you, or what the fuck is up or down at the moment. And that is where we are going to drop into the game. Okay, so, Triazamine, you are sitting or floating on a field of green. It might be grass, but it keeps changing colour. Orange to reds to purples, back to green again. You're sitting under a tree where apples keep falling but floating in the air around you. And there is noise, like people talking and chattering, and but nothing that you can discern. And you, in the middle of this has been going on for what seems like an eternity to you, and you're not even sure of your name anymore. You notice a small boy about 20 feet away from you. He is dressed in a school uniform, and he carries a satchel. And you recognise this boy, but you can't remember where from because you're that high. But
sounds about right.
But as he approaches, you remember that you've met this boy in a dream before, and so you assume that you are dreaming. And this is the boy that Asmodeus referred to as Tiny Team. As the boy approaches, the music, the sound around you dies out, As he approaches you, the sound around you dies out, and you just hear this music starting. Here come old flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He got juju eyeball, he won holy roller. He got head down to his knees. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please. The boy has closed distance about 10 feet now. He wear no shoe shine, he got toe jam football, he got monkey finger, he shoot Coca-Cola, he say, I know you, you know me. One thing I can tell you is you got to be free. He's in your face now. Come together right now over me, and at that very moment he slaps you in the face. Now this slap is coming from a small boy who is half your size, but the force of the slap feels like almost an infinite number of people have slapped you simultaneously in the face. In slow motion you spin and fly upwards away from the floor, and you awake clawing upwards once again in the back of the Uber. Could you face your camera towards your face, dear?
It is.
Thank you.
No, it's on her lap, mate.
You are surrounded in darkness. There is some light coming in from the window to your right, which above you to your right, which is
hold it on.
Seems to be spilling in from outside. It doesn't seem like sunlight or moonlight. It's like candlelight or something like that. And there is a presence. There is a presence in the Uber with you. Although because it's pitch black, you can't see who or what it is. But just reflected from the light that's coming in the window, you just see a small boy lean towards you. The boy from your dream, and as you clutch your cheek from the pain that had come from the slap, he says, "Remember, we are Legion." Suddenly the boy is gone. You feel that you're awaking from this trip that you've had that feels like it's gone on for an eternity. But you stumble to your feet, grab the handle of the door that's next to you where the light is spilling in, and you open it. In front of you, you see some steps that lead up to a door. You stumble forwards, still clasping your cheek. You stagger up the stairs.
Oh, shit. Hold on. I've got a phone call. Give me a sec.
You grasp the handle of the door and you open it. As you open, the light spills into your eyes and you feel blinded for a second as you've been in darkness for so long and you're stepping into the light. As you step inside... My eyes, yes. As you step inside... It's like
stepping outside in Cyprus.
As you step inside, the
I have your mind.
The light blinds you, but your eyes, after a few seconds, start to become used to the light. And you see in front of you Dragon and Christopher. Who is
Dre's just gone for a phone call.
That's okay. That's okay. You are running the show at the moment, I'm afraid.
Woohoo!
Dragon and Christopher are sat around the table. There is also a halfling who has her boots up on the table. You don't notice much about her other than the fact that her hair is brown and that her boots are green. And
Please stop shouting at me, Corsair.
Okay, I'm loving the colour of the boots, but why has she got to have such boring
you look around
hair?
briefly. You see there's a person. You see there's a person working behind the bar. You see there's a person clearing up the tables. And see your friends around the table with this halfling that you've apparently never seen before. And you say,
What the fuck did I miss?
very good.
I quite like
You
the
guys,
flashing
before
comment
before you respond, you should know that you can see on Triezamine's cheek a red mark that looks like it was made by being slapped by many
Small
hands.
child.
Just because I preferred the one that Matt cut out. I preferred Triezamine's first response about fashion.
No, I sorry.
Love the shoes, hate the hair, what the fuck is going on?
Triezamine was not in control of her actions until the moment I said, and you say, and Triezamine said, what was it?
Okay, I'm retracting my original statement and I'm going with love the shoes, hate the hair, what the fuck's going on?
Good.
Alright, this is going to be interesting because I'm going to have to pop out for 20 minutes.
Dragon, say something to Triezamine before you pop out.
Who the fuck is this bitch?
Oh yeah.
Ditzy.
A new friend.
That's good.
I'm out for one day and you find yourself a new hussy?
No, not like that.
Dragon at this point leaves with his 5 gold winnings to go and take the rod back to
we haven't decided that yet.
Dragon just assumes that he's won. Takes 5 gold from the bag, or 2.5 gold from the bag, and goes on his way back to visit.
Are we accepting this?
Yeah.
Dragon's leaving. He's actually leaving.
Can't we continue the battle going?
Possibly, but Dragon feels that he has to, regardless of whether he wins or not, he feels he has to return the rod that was very kindly given to him. Dragon feels he has to return the rod that was very kindly given to him by the... Hang on, Chad. Hang on. Argue after I said what's happening, okay? Dragon at this point leaves the bar, having thought that he's won, and takes 2.5 gold with him to give to the druid who very kindly gave him the rod.
As long as that's explained, it's fine. By Dragon.
Yep, that's.
I was going to say, who gave the rod?
A monk.
All right, yeah, fair enough.
In case none of you remember, it's a rod of magical growth, a rod of plant growth.
When did we join Terraria?
So, Triezamine?
Okay, Drake, cut your
camera.
No,
I can't say shit.
Dragon,
I can't say shit, sorry.
Cut your camera and you've left the bar. Having not apologised at all to Triezamine for giving her the strongest weed on the planet.
That's what she wanted.
Or magical herbs on the planet. Sorry. for her first experience.
Yeah, as I've got to pop to town, I do have a load of data, so I can still be in chat.
Oh, okay, cool.
He just can't play.
Dragon, do you want to let's get this straight. Cut. Dragon, do you want to have left the bar now to go and see if the druid's still awake, or do you want to wait until the morning to go and visit the druid and give him his 2.5 gold and the rod back?
Wait in the morning.
Wait till the morning.
He's probably
okay,
asleep.
so you're still in the bar, and the question on the table is, who is this bitch, and what the fuck did I miss?
Well, let's see. I wake up. I'm in like really, really annoyed mood because some cunt has just like slapped me. and I happen to find some bitch hanging around with you guys. Who the fuck is she?
I'm gonna assume that Triezamine said all of that.
Yes, Triazamine's a very jealous woman. Especially when it comes to her man.
Yeah, she did seem to be conspiring, to be in a conspiratorial chat with Dragon when you entered the room. And she she turns to you and says, "Ah, the fourth member of your party. Well, I see you've put together." She turns to Christopher. "I see you've put together a decent team, at least. Even if your abilities to steal things are not as great as mine." She winks at you, Charlie, just in a kind of, you know, I'm gonna wind you up for the rest of eternity kind of way.
I can't respond.
You can't respond?
No, because I already hit long rest at the end of the last session, so I can't do anything until long
we'll
rest
just
is done.
pretend that you hit that at the end of the thing, and don't worry if you're using any spells and shit that you're not supposed to use. Forget it. You can have a long rest.
I just don't want to have done that and then take advantage.
Have a conversation instead of attacking someone. How about that? Imagine that you.
I'm unfamiliar with the concept.
Okay, you, Charlie, have used all your spell slots.
So in that case, I turn to Trid.
You are at 1 HP. Okay, continue.
Well, then I'll just stick with I'm doing nothing.
Okay.
And I'll stick with my full health and waiting for my long rest.
Okay. It doesn't fit with the storyline. I'm sorry, Charlie. Choose how many spell slots you used. Choose what your HP is and get on with it. Don't make us all wait because you pressed the wrong button at some point since the last game.
Well, that's why I can't be involved.
Right?
Just make it up.
We're still in the pub, right?
Yeah, you have just entered the pub.
Right.
The light is spilling across you out the door outside. Lighting up the Uber. You are standing in front of you. There is a round table. There are 3 people around this table. One is Christopher, one is Dragon, and one is a halfling with her feet up on the table, brown hair and green shoes.
Love the boots, hate the hair. Charlie, let's go to the bar.
Drink.
Right. So,
that's Christopher.
Thank you.
I have no drink.
Yeah.
All right, Christopher, come with me to the bar.
I've got 2 bottles of wine.
All right. So, in order to try and keep this as sensible as possible, what I'm going to do is wake up from my nap in my chair and then saunter up upstairs for my long rest, if that's all right.
No.
But I'll say one thing.
I'm very sorry, Charlie. You do not just forget. You're not going to have a fight. Just forget about all that. Have your long rest in a minute. You have been caught just at this very moment when Davina has been put on the spot, even though she's upstairs preparing the beds. She has been put on the spot by Ditzy, who has said, "What are we going to do about the outsider?" That is the moment when Triazamine enters.
Okay.
Fine.
Triazamine has now invited you to the bar.
Right.
What do you do?
In that case, Matt, shut up and I'll explain. Triazamine, you know that girl that we met when we walked into Acquisitions Incorporated? Like the girl that was behind the counter, and you call her a ditzy bitch? Yeah. Funnily enough, her name is actually Ditzy. That's her.
Okay. Can we just
And
go
she's
to the bar
actually
out
really
of her
good.
earshot so we can gossip about her for a second?
Well, I kind of
Come on,
wanted to
Gossip
sleep.
Queen, I need all the info.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. We'll go and steal a drink together. I mean, yes, you can buy me a drink. All right. So, yes, I saunter off to the bar with Trisman.
Tresmin, you're just thinking, what the fuck is this bar? Where the fuck are we? Last time I looked around, we were in Waterdeep.
Hence why I want Christopher to come to the bar with me so that we can just have a little catch up without
Excellent.
people listening.
Just letting you know what's going on in your mind because you have been tripping for the last 16 hours.
Exactly. Hence why I want somebody that I trust from my team, seeing as Dragon's walked out, to basically just catch me up on the basic details.
Dragon apparently
I
hasn't
quite
walked
like
out.
how you can see this. You can see the sky in the background. For as Dragon's walked out, you just see that going past.
I can't even see Dragon. I'm not even recording where he's going. He could be going to do a drug deal for all I know. I can't see. His screen is blank.
All right,
Dre, this would be an excellent alibi if you were going to murder someone right now.
No, I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons. What's wrong with you? All right. So yeah.
Okay. Cut back
And
in.
on the way to the bar, I turn around to Ditzy and say, "Don't worry, I'll sort this."
Ditzy just nods and says, "Still impressed." She picks up a drink that's on the bar and carries on drinking, her feet on top of the rod that she's stolen.
All right,
As you approach the bar, she shouts, "I recommend the Bronze Bottom Ale."
Okay, I shout back. I recommend you shut the fuck up.
She winks at you and goes back to drinking her beer.
Yes,
all right,
Desmond.
Christopher, where's Davina?
Davina, she was last seen with the carriage with Wingway.
Nope, she's up. You sent her upstairs to...
Oh, sorry, she's upstairs making the beds. Wingway was guarding the carriage.
Yep.
Okay. Why has Wingway left?
No, Wingway's at a different table looking at the Ori. Sorry, I should have mentioned that.
Oh. I knew he was looking at the Ori, but I thought he was still in the carriage.
No, he wanted more light, so he came in whilst you guys were out. He's in the corner, disassembling the Ori on a table.
From one gossipy bitch to another gossipy bitch, can we trust this bitch?
No, but that's kind of the reason why you can trust her.
That confuses the hell out of me.
You guys, if you can turn up your volume, If you can turn up your volume a little bit, that would be useful.
My volume's on full.
Your microphone volume.
It's out. Let me see if I can find my other pair.
Useful, thank you. Sorry. Just want to make sure all of our volumes are the same. Mine is just clipping into the red, which is perfect.
Let me see if this pair is louder.
Cut back in. During your trip, Triazamine, you saw angels, you saw demons, you saw rainbows, you saw waterfalls, and loads of people, all of which you couldn't understand when they spoke to you. The only person that you were able to understand when they spoke to you was Tiny Teen, the tiny demon who has told you that we are Legion.
Where have I heard that before?
You know what it means, don't you?
It's basically when a load of demons possess a body and they are one.
We are Legion means it is from something, I can't remember where, but we are Legion means we are all one.
Yeah, it's not just Red Dwarf.
Yeah, exactly, Red Dwarf. You know, like when the four of them were one person, and his name
Also,
was
any
Legion. Yeah, it's when many people become are one person.
Oh, split personality.
Yeah, we act as one is what it means. We are Legion. We act as one. It also means we are infinite. We are Legion. But hey, tell me when Dragon comes back, because he's gone out from me, and I might need to restart the thing.
Yeah, he's still there. He's just
It's not there
not
for
there
me.
for you.
Not there for me. Okay. Let's carry on. You and Christopher are having a conversation at the bar.
Oh, yeah.
And you've just heard that Ditsy is not one to trust, but that might be why she's the best person to trust.
That's not what I said.
That's not what you said? Let him tell you what he really said.
So can we trust her? Yes. She will betray us. That's the general concept. The reason why we can trust her is because we can't trust her. At any given moment, she will be mischievous, be skullduggerous, and nick all of our shit. And that's why I like her. And that's kind of the reason why you like her as well. So let's stick her around for a bit. Yeah, pretty much. Well, she's a rogue. And a pretty good one.
That explains.
I don't know. Her rogue settings are only one above yours and ours.
Matt, I said, can you reset, because he is in the call, but obviously you can't hear him.
Cut.
Ditsy's basically on our side, and she's quite good. But I doubt she'll be around for long, so don't give her shit, and don't give her shit.
Alright. I give her one chance. If she stabs me in the back, I'm killing her.
I like it.
I agree.
Ditsy overhears you and says, you know, I've been told specifically to make sure that you don't die.
Good.
That's what I'm paid to do.
Yeah,
Right, then-
my
then-
mum told the same thing, yet she left me on the street.
Also, I'm not sure if you overheard correctly, but if she stabs us in the back, she's going to get killed. So, as long as she doesn't
if
plan
I
on
stab
stabbing
you in
us
the
in the
back,
back,
you're not the people I'm scared of. Alright? I'm scared of the entire cult of Asmodeus and all of the aristocracy of Waterdeep, who have employed me specifically to make sure that you guys don't die.
well, then good. I'm glad we're on the same page. In the back, we'll kill you.
Thank you very much, she says, and goes back to her drink, ignoring the rest of your conversation.
To which I walk straight over to her and say, "Oi, little Miss High and Mighty, I'm protected by Asmodeus personally. You think you can protect me?"
She says, I've got a lot of friends who claim they're protected by Asmodeus. I've got a lot of friends who died, even after telling me that.
Sweetie, I'm a direct bloodline.
Looks like you have a poor choice of friends.
She
Yeah,
says,
that's it.
well, yeah, that's true. That's what got me into this mess in the first place, I suppose. But what can you
Taylor, it's
do
where
when
you
you're
used
born
to
as an
work.
urchin orphan on the streets of Waterdeep? I mean, wasn't until I was 17 until I was recruited by the aristocracy to look after their, he pauses, says, problems. I assume that you are one of those problems?
Me? A problem? No. Mhm. Who says I'm a problem?
That's 25 to hit.
What'd you say?
Matt, 25 to hit, dagger through the shoulder again, not as in through the through the shirt.
She catches the dagger.
Ray, mute your mic.
Using her dexterity saving throw of... Come on, roll the fucking dice. Why won't it... Wait, there we go. Dexterity saving throw of 24. She saves...
So,
That's...
sorry?
She catches
It's
the dagger.
it's a 25 to hit.
Ah, well, she tries to catch the dagger and is almost successful, and all she does is deflect it ever so slightly.
No,
but
she
still
doesn't.
Catches her, still catches
exactly.
her. No, still catches her in the shoulder. She almost stops it, but it catches her in the shoulder, and she says, "You fucking idiot! What are you doing?"
Testing your reflex.
Don't speak back to Tresemme.
She wasn't talking to Tresemme, she was talking to you, Christopher.
Don't speak back to me either.
She says, "I've been told not to let you die. I haven't been told
Yes,
not to
no
talk
one
back
told
to you."
us the same thing.
Yeah, until Asmodeus tells me himself, I ain't believing you, love.
No one told us the same thing. And also, yes, you did.
She
You did
takes,
speak back to
how many
Tresemme.
points? How many points of damage, Charlie?
No, none. It was through the sleeve of her shoulder, just depending on the
Oh,
wall.
it was through the sleeve. I thought you meant it wasn't
Yeah.
through the sleeve this time. Okay.
No, it's
Well,
just...
this time, because of the way that she's sitting, it just passes through and doesn't actually attach her to anything, and just goes through her sleeve and destroys her clothes. And she says, "For fuck's sake!" She says the same thing that she said to you before, and is mildly peeved, but reaches for a bag and places it on the table. And she opens it and she looks inside and she pulls out some clothes and she sort of thinks about what else she's going to wear. And then she says, "Oh yes, I've got some things for you in here too." And she pulls out a case, like a not like a suitcase, more like the case that an artist might use to carry his pencils and paints and things like that. Places that on the table, pulls out another case, places that on the table. Looks kind of similar, but this is one that looks like it would more be used by a writer. Pulls out a bag that looks like any ordinary satchel, but this one seems to have teeth.
Right, I'm gonna pop off for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
This one seems this satchel or bag seems to have teeth, and she brings out one final thing, which is just a badge, made of what looks like gold and what's that thing when you pour water on lava? Obsidian. She pulls out a badge that looks like it's half made of gold, half made of obsidian, and places it on the table. And
Easily
she says,
breakable.
These are your Acquisitions Incorporated pieces that you need to fulfill your roles within Acquisitions Incorporated. They are magic, in a way. I am subscribed as your major domo or your secretary. I'm supposed to look after your business, so to speak, but you will need to decide who is going to occupy the other roles that you need to have. Now, you don't have to decide right now, but you will need to decide before you go on your next mission. One of you needs to be a cartographer, making maps. One of you needs to be a hordes person. She gestures to the satchel, looking after the gold and whatnot. One of you needs to be a documancer, looking after the contracts and documents of Acquisitions that Acquisitions Incorporated will send you and that will arrive in the bag of the documancer, similar to a sending spell, but written down. And one of you needs to be the decisioner. She looks at you, Christopher, and says, I assume that's you.
Well, and Christopher walks round very carefully. Walks round to lay his hand on
Ditsy's now
shoulder.
ignoring you and looking at different T-shirts or
no.
things that she needs.
Christopher walks round, lays his hands on Ditsy's shoulder and looks down at the items on the table, and in doing so, casts mending on her shirt.
She laughs, looks at you and says, I knew I'd like you. She reaches for her beer and cheers is yours without you even moving your hand.
Excellent. Well, I suspect that...
She has moved her feet now down onto the floor. They are no longer on the table. She needed to move them down onto the floor to lift the bag onto the table.
Fair enough.
I have one question for her.
You have a question for her. Well,
Yeah.
Right.
go. If Christopher has finished his interaction, have you finished yours?
I need to pee.
You need to pee. Okay. Christopher goes to the bathroom of the inn, unnamed as yet, and goes to relieve himself, pointed in the right direction by one of the unskilled hirelings that is in the bar. And you are left alone briefly with Ditsy, Triazamin, and you have a question to ask her.
Alright, Ditsy, now it's just me and you. Where is your actual proof that you are meant to look after us? Because that badge ain't doing shit for me. I need to see a contract signed by Asmodeus himself.
She says, bitch, I don't worship Asmodeus. I work for the people who worship Asmodeus. I'm a fixer for the aristocracy of Waterdeep. I commit fraud, assassination, and general cleanup for the ruling class of Asmodeus. They lifted me out of the gutter when they saw my true potential, and I have been living a moderate existence ever since then. 6 years ago, 7 years ago, she tries to remember. Oh, it all goes so fast, she says. I'm here because...
What you're telling me is you're a walking felon.
I'm a what?
A walking felon.
A walking villain.
Felon.
Felon. She says, allegedly, have committed felonies in the past, but these, after I was liberated by your folk, he gives you a nod that you see as half nod and half bow, is what I do now. I look after, I have been now told that my job that I am paid for and have been paid for 6 years, 7 years, he tries to remember, can't put a finger on it and just waves it away. I'm good at my job. That's why they asked me to help you, because I am the best that they have. Probably also, she points at Wingway, why they asked him to help you too, because he's the best wizard that they have. I'm the best criminal that they have.
If you're as good as you say you are, beat me in one-to-one combat.
She says, I don't fight fair.
Neither do I, love.
Esmond, no, she doesn't. She's smart. Trust her in fighting hand to hand.
She says two things. One, I don't fight
I
fair. Two,
blinded her and she chucked a load of marbles on the floor like a little bitch. Fucked us all up. Yeah.
one,
He's a funny fucker.
One, I don't fight fair. Two, I've been told to make sure you don't die. So if I were to fight you in one-armed combat or one-handed combat, it would be my job to lose. So I'm going to turn you down on that front. Because I like being alive, she says to you. I like being alive. I don't have a religion. I don't worship Asmodeus. I don't worship the Lord of Light. I don't worship anyone. To be honest, I'm a bit of an agnostic. I'm still searching for a religion. I'd love to have one, but I've never really been looked after by anyone except my benefactors.
I tell you what, from the info you just gave me, love, you'd be perfect as a witch.
She nods and says yes, but alas, I cannot use magical objects.
Oh? Why?
Well, she says, I don't understand this world. I hope to someday, but they tell me that because of the life that I've chosen, the roguish criminal path I've chosen to go down, that magic objects just don't work in my hands. I don't regret that, but that's the way the world seems to turn. I can, however, catch daggers out of the air, and I can
sometimes
ignore your ability to intimidate me. She raises an eyebrow at you.
You can ignore my intimidation?
She says, just try.
Alright, Christopher, go find me the biggest, baddest motherfucker in this bar, please.
I couldn't hear you. I don't know if Christopher heard you.
I did. The biggest, baddest motherfucker in this bar?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be me, right?
Okay, cool.
That would be Drake.
No, you're not in the bar at the moment.
Alright, the second biggest and baddest next to Drake.
That would probably be Wingway.
No. Biggest, baddest. Okay, I turn to Ditsy and I touch her on the shoulder again and inform her that Prismin is the biggest, baddest motherfucker in this bar, and if she possibly tries to ever do anything against her, Prismin will fucking end her.
It is at this point that I'd like to inform you that Ditsy has advantage against being frightened and is immune from intimidation.
It's persuasion.
Oh,
it's advice.
Persuasion. What did you roll?
I haven't yet. I was wondering if it was advantage or disadvantage.
Well,
it's 19.
She's advantage against being frightened and immune from intimidation.
No, this is persuasion.
Persuasion. So she says, okay,
you don't want to enter this
roll. You got 19. I'm not going to roll against it. She believes you. Although she does look at Dragon briefly. And says, okay, yes, well, I can see you're a paladin. That means you can strike me with radiant damage, doesn't it? Ha ha ha, she says. If you can catch me.
Drink.
Dragon? I thought I said Dragon.
He did say Dragon.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
sorry,
you just want to get him drunk.
Hello?
I want to get drunk too.
Ah, shit.
I see the bitch looking at Draco.
she takes your persuasion, Christopher. She understands what you say, and she believes now that Triazamine is harder than Dragon, and she puts this down to her being. She says to you that she puts this down to her being a paladin and has all that, and she waves her fingers in the air. Radiant damage that you can do, like she's taking the piss.
To which I give her the biggest, hardest slap she's ever felt in her life.
Okay, I'd like you to roll an attack roll. That's an attack with you get. I think you get 0 for unarmed strike. So just roll a d20. Oh no, you get a +6 for unarmed strike. What did you roll?
What does Christopher want to say?
No, you've already gone for it. Fuck Christopher. Roll a d20.
Oh.
I can't see Christopher at the moment either.
Yeah, his internet cut out for a minute.
Let's go. We'll get him back.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
I rolled a 10.
You roll the 10 +6. That's a 16, which does hit Ditsy's armor class. However, you can now roll oh no, you automatically just get 4 bludgeoning damage for your unarmed strike. But Ditsy uses a reaction of uncanny dodge, which halves the attack that you do against her, which leaves her with 2 damage. Her face turns as you slapped her. You used your right hand, I take it.
Yep.
She turns as you slap her, turns back and says, "Ooh, nice. Maybe me and you can meet up later."
Christopher, I'm about to kill this bitch.
Dragon, do you want to intervene in any way?
I'm just sitting there giggling.
The bitch is taunting and I don't like it.
Triazamine, I'd like you to roll a lunatic check to see if you can work out whether Dragon's laughing at you or laughing at the situation.
That's the D20, right?
Yep, d20 +7.
14 + 7.
21. Yeah, you think Dragon's laughing at you.
I throw something at him. I don't care what it is, it's just the nearest thing that's on the table at him.
It's not on the table, but there is a chair next to you.
Launch a chair at me.
As I'm picking up the chair, Christopher interjects.
We're going to have to drop out so that Christopher can cut. Triazamine goes to pick up a chair to hurl at Dragon. But, Christopher, you do...
Sorry. Yeah, I had to catch up very quickly there because you guys just spoke very quickly after
so Triazamine, before we cut back in, Triazamine slapped
Ditsy, because she was taunting me.
Yeah, something I tried to stop, but my internet wasn't fast enough.
Ditsy halved the damage of the slap with her uncanny
and then
dodge.
Was very kinky about it.
And she turned back and gave a kinky response to being slapped.
Right.
Dragon laughed, but Triazamine's lunacy made her think that Dragon was laughing at her, to which Triazamine picked up a chair and is about to throw it at Dragon. You have an opportunity to intervene.
Yeah. So I'm going to cast Mage Hand just in front of Dragon's face.
Yeah,
so it's not going to.
Sorry, Charlie. Mage Hand cannot be used to block any attack. Cannot be used to make any attack. It won't work. I've got it right here.
So sorry, I just need to reread what I can.
Mage Hand cannot be used to create an attack, dispel an attack, block an attack. Cannot be used to do anything against an attack.
Damn, why isn't that written down on my list? It was meant to have updated today.
But what you could do is
Okay, in that case, what?
Shall I read you Mage Hand?
This is updated as of today.
Okay.
So
a spectral floating hand appears at a point within range. Hand lasts for the duration. Ready, rah. 30 feet. You can use an action to control the hand. You can use the hand to manipulate an object, open an unlocked door or container, stow or retrieve. Ready, rah.
right. So
yeah, you can't use it to block an attack or to make.
No, but I can use it to manipulate an object.
Yeah, as in like
A chair.
No, I'm sorry, you can't block an attack with Mage Hand, Charlie. Doesn't work.
I'm not blocking. I'm just manipulating.
Okay.
Misses
You could
him.
make the chair spin in midair, so a different part of the chair hits Dragon, but you
How
would
about
not be
making it
able
very
to make
heavy?
You would not be able to stop the attack.
No, but send it from a different
Yes,
path.
I mean, would you roll a d20 plus 6 for me, please?
Give me
Oh no, it's not plus 6 because it's not a weapon. It's just a improvised weapon, so it's just a d20.
Give me a sec. 10.
10. Sorry, what did you say, Trezamin?
10.
10. Yeah, that doesn't hit Dragon's armor class. You miss him.
Oh well.
You miss him completely.
Oh well.
Dragon makes a small duck, and it sails
That's a
over
what?
his head. And as he does it, he says quack. Yes, Charlie. Wingway, who's been distracted from his work in the corner, uses prestidigitation to create a small duck that flies across the room and is hit by the chair as it rebounds.
Immediately smack.
As it rebounds from the wall and splats the duck. I think that's prestidigitation, isn't it? I can't remember what, but he has got it. I know that he can create illusory animals.
Yeah, it just says I can't attack, activate magic items, or carry more than £10. But none of those.
You can't attack and you can't block an attack either.
It doesn't say anything
More
about
than a
blocking.
tenner.
Alright, well, I tell you what. You can, if you wish, look it up, but I tell you what I'll do. I'll use the player's handbook.
just be. There's just what I've got written up here. There's probably a lot more detail to it.
Yeah, there is. You can't. For example, you can't use a mage hand to put over a person's mouth to stop them from speaking.
No, but if an arrow is flying towards them and the mage hand happens to be in the way,
No, it doesn't work.
not as a reaction, but as an action, you gave me that choice of creating the mage hand whilst the chair was flying through the air.
So the mage hand couldn't redirect.
It's just tapping it to make sure it didn't hit you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I meant by redirect.
Alright, well,
Yeah.
it can't carry
Yeah.
more than £10, and this is a chair sailing through the fucking air.
It's not trying to carry it.
It's just trying to, what?
Move it
Tap
over.
it. Just send it off course.
Well, bearing in mind that Triazamine missed with her attack, I'm going to say that yes, you can manipulate the chair in the air to make it hit the wall at a slightly different angle. But it's still going to bounce off the wall and hit the duck that that.
Oh yeah, no, I was just trying to see if I could use the mage hand just to go dish and maybe give the chair disadvantage.
By all means, you can give it disadvantage, but the first roll missed.
Well,
anyway.
if it would have hit, but
Potentially.
Didn't matter anyway.
This
didn't matter anyway.
I'm going to say right now, Mage Hand can't attack and it can't deflect attacks.
Okay. Just trying to look after my friends and stop them from hitting each other.
No, makes sense. Makes sense. But you really want to get in the middle of a lovers' quarrel? When Triazarine is one of those lovers?
No, that's why I sent a fucking mage hand there. I wasn't fucking anywhere near the middle of it.
They know that you... Oh, it could have been Wingway that sent the mage hand, I suppose. Alright, so, Dragon, you duck. Are you still laughing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dragon's still laughing. Triazarine, you still think he's laughing at you.
And I quickly put my hand out to Theresa and go, look, I'm not laughing at you. I just think this whole situation is hilarious.
Someone roll a d20 for Dre to see if his persuasion works.
I've got D&D Beyond, so I can do it via that.
All right, but I was
updated.
If you want, I can just roll a d20 for you right now.
I was going to say I rolled and it came out as 5.
D20.
Yeah, Matt, can you roll for me?
Yep. You got a 6 plus... You got 5 overall. You did not succeed in persuading Triazarine. Triazarine, roll an intelligence check for me, please. D20.
3.
Oh, okay, Dragon, you convinced her.
Hey.
Oh.
And some even more good news, when you get home, your dinner's ready.
Ooh,
oh, nice.
Thanks.
I haven't had some dinner yet,
so
when you guys go to have dinner, I'm going to go to make a pot noodle. I should have said
dinner
before that.
And tea.
No tea for me.
I'd love one. Cheers.
If you'd have been at mine,
right,
you would have had
cut back in now. After Christopher has gone upstairs to get his long rest in the room that was prepared for him by Davina, food is brought out by the unskilled hireling behind the bar, and Ditsy says, thank God, feels like I've waited forever. Food is placed on the table in front of Dragon and Ditsy, and the unskilled hireling carrying another plate of food looks at you, Triazarine, as if to say, you want food? You nod at him. He places the food at the table, and you sit down to eat with Dragon and Ditsy. You have a haunch of meat each, and some various vegetables.
So not far away from what we've actually got.
Well, that's what I thought.
And yes, Matt, you'll be proud of me. There's mushrooms in this.
Ditsy says, I'm going to follow Christopher upstairs to bed soon as well, but... And she turns to you, Triazarine, and says, I'm going to pose to you the same question that I posed to he and Dragon, which is, what are we going to do about the outsider?
In your opinion, love, who's the outsider?
The outsider is the person who is not currently employed in the service of Asmodeus to bring down Dran Enterprises' hold over Acquisitions Incorporated and reinstate Omen Drans as the CEO. I'm
I didn't know
I'm
Cold
talking,
Finished House.
I'm talking about the halfling, she says, even though she herself is a halfling. I'm talking about the stout halfling upstairs who calls herself Davina.
She's harmless. Trust me and her, we've had our blows. You don't touch that girl.
So your suggestion is we just do nothing?
Look, I've just met you, alright? I'm gonna take the word of my teammates that we can trust you, but the moment you start trying to turn me against my own team is the minute you lose my trust.
Can you repeat that? Because all I heard was echo.
Alright, I've only just met you. I'm going to take the advice of Christopher, and I will trust you. But the moment you turn me against my own team, you lose my trust.
You've already decided he's your decisioner, haven't you?
Well, he's the one that's in charge, so.
She nods. She turns to her food.
Briefly. Sorry, Matt, I zoned out. Sorry, there were 4 roles that needed to be filled. The cartographer, the decider, documenter, and the person in charge of holding all the shit.
Exactly, yeah.
And
And the major domo, number 5, the major domo, who is the secretary of the company, and already Ditzy has assigned herself that role.
Of course you would.
Well, she can do what the fuck she wants.
Well, her role is to stay at the base camp and run the business whilst you guys are absent.
Okay. So, Trismane, Dragon.
Yeah.
No, sorry. You don't get a discussion yet. Because cut back in. Hooray! It's the next morning, and Christopher, you are the first to wake up because you went to bed before dinner, and everybody else had dinner before they went to bed. So you wander downstairs.
15. Do I need to roll anything else?
Oh, there we go. Well done. What would you like to roll for your to check about your instrument?
I'd like to learn some
I've been
more
asking you to roll intuition, but now you can try and roll anything you want.
Ah. Well, that's interesting. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that.
Did you remember you learned Elvish?
I did.
Good. If you've put it on your character sheet, that's great. If not, I've got it written
I
down.
can't, unfortunately, put it on my character sheet. I asked you to write it down because I couldn't.
If you send me your character sheet, I'll print it for you and send it to you. And give it to you.
It's going to be changing, I think, fairly soon. So, yeah, after the next one, I will.
Okay, so you wake up in the morning and you have a chance to learn something about your instrument. Roll me whatever you want.
I'm going to roll me a stealth.
A what?
Stealth.
Stealth. Okay, what do you get?
Don't know yet. Find out. 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You try to creep out of your room without the instrument knowing. You woke up again in an embrace with your instrument, having left it against the wall, not knowing how it got there. You try and sneak out the door, but just as you're about to shut the door, something stops you. You open the door and the instrument flies across the room into your arms.
Can I catch it gracefully and say, "Oh, my friend, I missed you"?
Don't just catch it gracefully. You catch it in the perfect stance for somebody who would be about to play it.
Okay, I look down and say, "Not now, baby."
This is adorable.
The guitar makes a strange noise that you can only... The only thing you've ever heard that is kind of similar to the noise is a growl. So kind of like...
Okay. Soon. But we need a stage first, okay? And then you'll be happy. Yes?
The guitar says...
Okay. Fine.
You walk downstairs.
Do you mind
Nobody
getting
else
on my
is
back
awake.
so I can keep these daggers in my hand?
What?
Mind getting on my back so I can keep these daggers close to hand?
You can put the instrument wherever you want now that it's on your body.
Sweet. It's on my back, daggers in my hand. Well, close to my hand. Holster.
Okay, cool. You walk downstairs, and nobody is awake yet because you're the first to get up, except for Wingway, who is still sitting in the corner, closely examining all the parts of the Ori, which he is disassembled completely on the table. And as you approach him and he looks up at you, you see his eyes are completely bloodshot, like he's been awake for far too long and needs a stiff cup of coffee. Wingway says, "What time is it?"
It's about 6, 7, something like that.
It's like, oh shit, I've been up all night. Should probably go to bed. Yeah.
Wingway, you can sleep in the carriage because we're going to be moving on. Whilst you're still hearing this, what?
He says, "Oh, for fuck's sake! I hope they've got coffee." And he walks around the back of the bar.
I'll get you a coffee. Just hey, Wingway, fucking stay there.
Well, before he moves, you say, "I'll get you coffee."
Yeah.
Okay. Wingway goes, "All right," and he starts to gather the pieces of the Ori and put them back into his satchel.
Wingway, a couple of questions to ask you.
Wingway walks over to the bar a little bit. Sort of like,
I said to Wingway to stay there. Where's he going?
You said, "Wingway, there's a few questions I wanted to ask you." Well, you're behind the bar. He's walking towards the bar to sit at the bar while he gets a coffee from you.
Why am I behind the bar? I'm not a barman.
You told him you told him you'd get him a coffee.
Yeah, but I didn't say I'd gone to get him a coffee yet.
Okay, sorry. Explain yourself, Christopher.
Right. So, Wingway. For a start, there were 5 roles that were meant to be allocated last night. The cartographer, the decider, the person carrying all of the shit. Do you remember what the other 2 were?
He says, Wingway's eyes, by the time you finish talking, are closed. And he sort of briefly wakes up and says, "Coffee?"
So, okay, Wingway, stay there. Don't worry about it. I sit down next to him. I snap my fingers at an imaginary bartender, and he gets no coffee.
One of the two unskilled hirelings walks out from the kitchen. His eyes also quite red shot, but he seems to be kind of shaking ever so slightly. And says, "I heard coffee." He's holding a steaming cup in his hand.
Correct.
This hireling seems to have been up all night. He says, "I got a big pot in the kitchen. You want some?"
I mean, give him that cup. You've got a big pot.
He says, "This one's got milk and sugar."
And it's also not for you. Give it to this man. Fuck off back to yours.
Yeah. He hands it to Wingway and walks back off to bring back 2 cups of coffee, thinking that you want one as well. Wingway
Cool.
drinks a big sip of the coffee, goes, Jesus, that's hot. Ha, 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 ha. Ow. He makes a mage hand in the air, just a wave in front of his face, while he at the same time blows on the coffee that he's got in his hand. It's in a pint mug.
All right. So, hello?
Hello, yeah, we can all hear you. We're just waiting for you to make a move.
Cool. So, it was cartographer, decision maker, someone's hold shit, whatever the fuck Ditsy was doing. What's the 5th role?
Wingway looks at you, looks at the table, back at you and says, I'm sorry, was I supposed to be paying attention? I was focusing on the Ori, you see. It's a very interesting device. I mean, it's the most magical thing I've ever come across in my life. And
that does bring me to my next question.
Well, I spent the whole night, it seems. He looks at the light starting to come through the windows, trying to understand its mechanisms, and I've learnt quite a bit, but I'm afraid I wasn't really paying attention to anything else that was going on.
Alright, cool. Stay here. At this point, I summon my own mage hand and just go, Dush! I said stay here.
You can't use a mage hand to do an attack.
It's not an attack, it's just a... it's more of a waft.
Alright, it's a waft. I'll have that.
Yeah.
You can use it to keep wafting his coffee cooler so that he wakes up faster if you want.
No, just his face, like someone opening a window when someone's passing out in the passenger seat.
Makes sense. I'll take that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
that increases the speed that Wingway is waking up at.
Yeah, I go upstairs and find Davina, which I hope is no longer than 30 feet away.
You can't find Davina upstairs. All the rooms upstairs have been occupied. There are only 3. One was occupied by you, another was occupied by Ditsy, and a third was occupied by Dragon and Triazamine.
Right, okay. I go to the guy that brought the coffee and immediately ask where the fuck is Davina.
The guy who brought the coffee walks in to bring more coffee just as you're coming back down the stairs, and he says, "Who?"
Now he's
Where the fuck is Davina?
I don't know who Davina is, boss.
Okay.
He carries the
gentleman.
the coffees onto the bar and starts seemingly preparing the bar for whatever business might come, even though it doesn't seem that any is coming.
Nope. I dragged this bastard. Right up the stairs.
Okay, by the
lapels. Into the room that contains Trismine and Dragon.
Okay, they haven't finished their long rest yet.
Is that the rest?
Were you to wake them up, they wouldn't have completed a long rest.
Put him down on the ground.
Yep.
I look around in the process to see if I can see Davina.
And she's not there.
Alright. Take a dagger to his throat and whisper very, very quietly. Where the fuck is Davina?
He says, he looks to his right, looks to his left and says, is this what Asmodeus told you to do?
If you make me wake these people up by hurting you and your own screaming, they are going to cause a lot more damage because you will not like them in the mornings. Where the fuck is Davina?
Who the fuck is Davina? He says to you. Not with a smile that says I'm happy, but a smile that says I've been up all fucking night and I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Who is Davina?
He's a very small cleric.
Oh,
Of whom
you
I'm
mean the
quite fond.
halfling? She's left. She left, I think, after she got the bedrooms done. She left by the front door. I mean, I didn't try and stop her, should I have?
Do you know where she went?
No, she just went out the front door.
Left or right?
Straight.
Anyone else that could have seen her?
It was only me up at that time. I was cleaning
Anyone
up the
else that
kitchen,
could-
getting it ready for like meals and stuff. I came out. I saw her walk out the front door. She shut it behind her. I carried on working. No one told me I should have been keeping an eye on her.
Christopher looks up. He looks down. He looks very down, in fact. Feels betrayed. Upset.
The
He
unskilled
definitely looks at
notices your demeanour, sort of puts his hand up and sort of pushes the knife ever so gently away and says, maybe I can help you find her?
I think that would be best for everyone.
Well, he says, I suppose we start at the front door?
Yes. Now, how about you make breakfast? If you disappear, I will not kill you.
I'm not going to disappear, but I do have eggs and bacon and various other whatnots. Okay.
Don't wake Dragon or Treason in. Go and make breakfast. I'll see you down there shortly. As I said, if you leave, I will not kill you. You will die.
He looks down.
I will not kill you.
He looks back up at you and is just like, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to make breakfast.
Good.
Have you let go of him? Have you let go of him?
I know it's normally 2, but can I just get 3 rashers of bacon? I'll pay the extra, like silver, if that's cool.
Man, I got loads of bacon, he says, and just have you let go of him? Have you
I'll
let
see you
go
down
of
there
him
in a
at this point?
No, not yet.
Okay.
There's still nitrous though. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Cool. Okay. And then quietly shut the door on the way out.
Okay. He just he walks away, but then suddenly stops and just looks back at you and is just like, sunny side up.
I'm easy.
Over easy.
No, I'm easy.
Oh, okay,
Any way
cool.
you want.
Cool,
I'm not
cool.
fussy.
I like him sunny side up, he says, and he wanders down the stairs into the kitchen.
I don't give a shit how you like them.
He doesn't turn or respond to what you've said. You've still got about half an hour until Dragon and Triazamine have finished their long rest.
Alright. So go back and walk to Wingway.
Wingway is starting on your cup of coffee at this point.
Yeah. Wingway, I try and usher into the carriage and say, Wingway, can you just don't worry about this. Like, you've worked enough on this tonight. Just go sit down in the carriage. Just relax. Have a think about life. Okay, you meditate. Enjoy yourself. Okay, I'll get you a Rubik's cube.
Okay, he says. I'm going to take a short rest at least. But
Yeah,
man, can I take this coffee? I'm taking this coffee with me. He says. He turns and he walks out the door.
Oh yeah, you knock yourself out, man.
Okay, he closes the door behind him. And
There you go. Hello.
Hello, I can see you.
Yep.
I can see you.
I can't see Dre.
We all good?
I can't see Dre.
Oh yeah.
I can see everyone.
So Wing.
Okay, I'm dropping
Wing-
out.
Wing
No,
way
cut.
back.
So, to all of you. You ready, Charlie?
Woohoo!
And cut.
Oh yeah. So Wingway is now in the carriage, having a little nap. Sorry,
And
I cut
coffee.
out. And his coffee.
Okay.
He's happy there, and he's not trying to fucking overdo himself, no.
Not doing anything. He's just sitting in the. Well, he's doing what you told him to do. Get in the carriage, chill out.
Sweet.
The unskilled hireling behind the bar sort of. Oh no, he's in the kitchen at the moment. The unskilled hireling in the kitchen, you hear sort of the sounds of cooking and eggs breaking and a small stifled sort of yelp as if someone had just burnt themselves on the auger.
Sorry, so those two still asleep?
Yeah, got about 25 minutes left of their sleep. If you want to go looking for Davina, this would be the right time to do it. Or you could wait 25 minutes for them and be 25 minutes behind Davina.
True.
Cut. Think about what you're doing. Got to go and sort something out.
Got it.
No, I've got to go and sort something out.
And here's where I'm going to suggest
Leave a note.
leave a note for me and Dragon.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, no, we are exactly on the same fucking page here.
Yeah, we all were apparently.
Or you could leave a little bit of mystery to it and not leave us a note.
There is that. But
Just leave a message with Wingway and have Wingway forget about it. He fell asleep.
I've got a few options here. I think my preferred one involves leaving you to sleep with a note, which but it's what I do subsequent to that.
Montana, leave the wires alone.
Are you going to take Ditsy with you?
Well, this way you guys get a full, rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been resting. Right.
And I can leave a trail.
Yeah, like breadcrumbs. Dagger marks.
Well, you could call it breadcrumbs. Personally, I was
just see into the wall.
No, I was just gonna stab the bartender and drag him along.
And follow the trail of blood.
See. I mean, each their own. But no one nicks my fucking Davina. Not when she's got a contract.
Yeah.
Which also leads me to the other point of the documency aspect, which means that Dragon, I think... Hello?
Hello.
Aww.
So if you see me looking down on the floor, it's because they're being adorable.
Yeah. Because it's cute.
That's what she wants. This is what she wants all day. And look, I can get away with stroking her belly. She loves it. She just flops.
Oh, man. That's normally a trick.
Yep, that's normally like the hand being annihilated. This one loves it.
Ah, you fool. Alright.
It's quite funny because for about 6 to 8 months, I got Kayla to feed her and water her because I know her meows. I didn't tell Kayla I knew her meows. I was like, "Oh, do you mind checking her food bowl for me? Oh, it's empty. Oh, can you fill it for me?" She meow again. Oh, can you check her water bowl? Oh, it's empty. Do you mind filling it? For about 6 to 8 months until she went, "Do you know her meows?" I couldn't help it. I just laughed. That proper good old belly laugh.
Sorry, I cut out there.
Okay.
Or at least we don't know where Davina is.
We don't know where Davina is, but
at that point I cut out.
Christopher has sent Wingway out to the carriage to have a rest after having spent the entire night up studying the Ori. And he's taken a coffee with him.
Right. Yeah.
Christopher, you're in the bar area.
No, I just walked out of the room where Dresmain and Dragon were.
Okay.
Yep. So I go to Ditsy's room.
Okay.
Get it.
Ditsy also hasn't completed a long rest.
Don't give a shit, I'm waking her up.
Right.
Please don't tell me that was open.
How are you doing? Dragon, your camera's gone again, mate. You dropped out and then you've gone.
I can see.
I can see him.
What the fuck is wrong with mine?
Maybe it's your camera.
It's not my camera that's the problem.
No, yeah.
It must be my connection. I'm using the internet to connect to... Are you guys using an app to connect to Discord? Charlie, you're using the internet, aren't you? You're using just a Google.
Hotspot, yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, me and Trey.
Dropping out.
So, yeah. Having been unfulfilled by the knowledge previously passed down, I walk into Ditsy's room. By walk in, I mean I kick the fucking door open.
Remember, you did walk down into the bar to tell Wingway to go out to the carriage.
Yep.
So you've walked back upstairs.
But that doesn't stop me walking into Ditsy's room. Well, I'd already walked back upstairs to speak to Dragon and Trismin.
No, you went to take the the unskilled hireling into Dragon and Triazamine's room. Without waking them up, you interviewed him. Then you told him to go back downstairs and make breakfast. You walked downstairs, told Wingway to take his coffee and go into the carriage.
Alright, cool. Sorry, I thought it was the other way around.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, so back upstairs, kick down Ditsy's door.
It's not locked.
Probably wake. It doesn't matter. I'm pissed off because she is the last person to show any animosity towards Davina, and I suspect her of being the culprit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair point.
So I walk in, and I'm not sure whether or not me kicking down the door wakes her up.
It does.
Or if
Yeah.
I'd say that was enough to say that she was disturbed in her long rest.
Right. I grab her by the scruff of the neck and start dragging her out, saying, "Quiet."
She's like,
Look at that.
she's just being dragged by you.
Yep.
She seems okay with this situation at the moment. She's being
I
quiet.
stop outside the door to Trésamine and Drogon's room and rip out a dagger.
Okay.
Look Ditsy right in the face, and then in the floor underneath I carve, "Breakfast is downstairs, get in the carriage."
With the dagger, you carve that in the floor. How long does that take you?
That takes me approximately, like, with the walking upstairs, the kicking of the door, I'd say about 4 minutes.
I'm saying just the carving. The carving takes you just.
He's pretty good with a dagger.
Okay.
He's pretty good with a dagger.
All right, cool. And it's.
I don't cross the T's or dot the I's.
These are expensive floors that have been.
Wouldn't it be slash the T's and stab the I's?
These are
Yes,
expensive.
I don't slash the T's or stab the I's.
These are expensive floors that have been varnished, so you're actually carving it in the varnish rather than in the wood, so you can do it quite quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll leave the dagger standing upright in it, so it's immediately obvious to someone as soon as they walk out, be like, "Where the fuck is the dagger there?" And then they see the writing on the floor.
Ditsy turns, walks towards the stairs, and as she gets to the top of the stairs,
No, I'm still grabbed her.
Oh, okay. I thought you told her to do something.
No, that's just what I carved in the floor.
Oh, that's for Dragon. And okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, he's left a note for us.
Right. At which point I say, "Shh." Then we walk downstairs and outside.
Drop the fucker. Caught another fly.
Very Cobra Kai.
You walk outside, okay?
Very Cobra Kai. So what?
No, because he caught the fly, but was it with chopsticks?
No, I've tried before to catch flies with chopsticks. It's very.
I noticed.
Basically impossible. That's why I focus on catching them with my hands.
Yeah. Which point I walk outside, then turn to Ditsy and say, "Right."
Do you leave the door open or do you close it?
Just after we've walked outside, I close it so I can talk to her in private with only Wingway, I think, being present.
Or in earshot?
Yeah. And he's also passed out.
Yeah.
Lena's missing. If we don't find her, everyone will blame you, including me.
She looks at you, and at that very moment, Davina emerges from the carriage, carrying Wingway's cup of coffee. She has bloodshot eyes as well. Takes a big swig from the cup of coffee as she reaches the floor, and then walks up and just walks past both of you without acknowledging either of you. Ditzy looks at you and says, "You woke me up for this."
Yeah.
She nods.
What's your point?
Well, decisioner. Supposed to make good decisions. I don't know. Maybe you should be a documancer, she says, raises an eyebrow, gives you a grin, shakes herself loose from your grasp, and walks in.
I've already let go of this one, come on.
Alright,
I've let go as soon as
walks
seen
back
Davina.
into the bar, following Davina. Davina sits down at the nearest table to her, which is the large round one nearest the door. Ditzy sits at the table just next to her and looks at her with distrust, but slightly more respect than you saw her look at her with the night before. She says to Davina, "You got all the beds ready then?" Sorry, Ditzy says, "You got all the beds ready then?" Davina says, "Yeah. And there was nowhere for me to bloody sleep. I've had my head fucking against a piece of wood in the bloody carriage all night." She looks at Davina and says, "I'm a stout halfling. You're a lightfoot halfling, aren't you?" Davina goes, "Duh." Snaps her fingers to the person who is just carrying out breakfast and says, "Get me coffee." Davina turns and looks at you, Christopher, and says, "There wasn't a bedroom for me. Is that something that's going to carry on into the future?"
Davina, when I say make the beds ready for the group, you are part of the
Sorry,
group.
what's that?
I didn't think
I'm
I'd need to
sorry.
explain them to you.
Davina raises 3 fingers and just says, 3 rooms, 5 people. I guessed as an intern that I wouldn't be offered one of the beds, so carriage, more comfortable than the floor.
Next time, let me know when there aren't more beds. I'll find something for you. Don't go and sleep on the fucking floor or in the carriage, you numpty.
She says, "Thank
Part
you."
of our squad.
She says, "Thank you." She looks up at the ceiling and said, "I'd really like a bedroll. Last time we had a long sleep outside of a inn, I was on the floor, and, you know, I don't mind sleeping on the floor, but, you know, carriage, better than the floor."
Carriage is fine. Just don't fuck off again.
So sorry. And starts tucking into her eggs and bacon.
Get your bedroll.
Davina makes it a personal note to find a bedroll at some point and carries on tucking into her eggs and bacon as coffee is brought to the table by the red-eyed, unskilled labourer.
Yeah, can we toss him a gold piece for me threatening him when Tresman comes down? Sorry, that's readying an action.
Okay, cool. You've readied an action to take a gold piece and flick it. Okay, that's several actions, but I'm going to say
tip the
5.
waiter.
I'm going to say 5.
Yeah.
You also brought out a plate of eggs and bacon, Christopher, of which you have 3 pieces of bacon.
Yep.
And you tuck in, and by the time you're finished, Trezamine and Dragon have finished their long rests. Trezamine, Dragon, as you wake up in each other's arms, in a room that you have never been in before, but except for the night before when you passed out pretty quickly, what do you do?
I don't want to say what's on my mind in case we get monetized.
Trezamine, you wake up as Dragon is just rolling out of bed on the other side of the bed. Dragon gets out of bed very slowly, whereas you are able to bounce out of bed quite quickly.
I have a lot of energy this morning.
You took off your armor before you got into bed, but the two of you gently put on your armor and make your way downstairs to where you find a table with bacon and eggs ready for you and some coffee.
Nah. Dragon in his sleepy haze walks straight past the dagger and completely oblivious to it, walks downstairs for breakfast.
Yeah,
I'd like both of you to make perception checks.
Fuck, I don't know where.
Is it perception? Yeah, perception. Yeah. What's the passive?
What?
Passive perception.
Dragon's is 10. I think Trezamine's is 12. But this isn't a passive perception thing. This is an opening a door and walking through it thing. So this is a.
It would be because they're not actively seeking it.
All right, something carved into the floor. You need something higher than a 12.
I got 13.
Fuck, I can do it on D&D, can't I?
There is a dagger stuck in the floor as well next to
Oh, there is a dagger stuck in the floor. I forgot about that. Okay. I think you both see it. What did it say, Christopher?
So breakfast is downstairs, meet me in the wagon. Or carriage, sorry.
Okay.
No, it said breakfast is downstairs, get in the wagon.
Sorry, get in the carriage, yeah.
Yeah, carriage.
Okay. What do you guys do in reaction to this? In reaction to this, this message and dagger carved into the floor.
Read it.
Good answer. And then.
Wipe the sleep from my eyes and read it again.
I can see why this game is moving slower than I expected it to.
Yeah.
The two of you walk downstairs. The two of you walk downstairs with the intention of going out to the carriage, but then see Christopher and connecting him with the knife that you found in the floor. Sort of. Which one of you pulled it out the floor? If either of you.
Neither.
I did.
Dragon just
grab the dagger.
Waves the dagger at Charlie and is just like,
Is this yours?
No, I throw it at him so get something.
Yeah. Christopher chucks his hand up to be like, chuck it my way.
Like you forgot something?
Yeah.
You throw it to him.
So
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Christopher catches it without any need for either of you.
Oh come on!
All right, fine. Dragon.
That could have been a con throw.
Dragon, roll a
Dexterity?
No, sleight of yeah, dexterity, and you, Charlie, you, Christopher, sleight of hand.
Dexterity.
That's a D20 plus 2, Dragon.
Okay. 20. I rolled a 5. So plus 2, 7.
This dagger is flying directly towards Christopher's chest. Dragon, roll damage for me while Christopher rolls sleight of hand.
19.
Okay. You catch it, Dragon. You catch it, Christopher. Just like dunk, like that. Just before it pierces your leather armor. In fact,
I look over with like, sorry,
Fine.
sword guy.
yeah.
I didn't mean to aim it so high.
I've got to add that back to my inventory now.
The unskilled hireling pulls a couple more chairs over to the round table, which is big enough to support all 5 of you, and you sit down to a nice bacon and eggs and coffee, which is going to be brought over to you very shortly. Treasman, you are more awake than Dragon at the moment, and Dragon tucks into his bacon and eggs, whilst you, Treasman, are interested in what's going on around this table.
Where's the toast?
Toast.
Oh, yeah, that's my first question. Where's the toast?
Are you directing this question to anyone?
Yeah, the guy that brought us the food.
Okay, he says, we don't have any bread.
We'll go get some.
Oh, sorry,
He says,
has the silver piece been...
He looks at Davina and says, we didn't bring any bread and there's no one that makes any bread.
There is no bread.
We brought bacon and we brought bacon, eggs. We brought a number of other sort of meaty dishes, potatoes. I have some tomatoes.
What about pig?
But we didn't bring any bread.
What about pig?
It goes off and goes stale, so we thought we'd bring things that didn't go off or go stale. So salted meats, eggs, vegetables that don't go off very quickly, beer.
Tea?
We got tea.
I'll have some tea.
So what tea would you like?
Ooh, what you got?
Darjeeling.
He looks at you, Dragon, and just goes, I don't speak that language.
No, it's a tea. Don't worry about it.
Okay. We've got stuff from down south. We've got stuff from up north, and we've got stuff from the east. I don't know what the names are. The stuff from down south is strong. Stuff from up north, mild. Stuff from the east, got a lot of flavour. Not a lot of people like it.
Give me the one from the east.
He nods, walks back into the kitchen.
Right, Christopher. What was with the note left outside the door?
Christopher's mouth is currently full of bacon, and so in order to attend to you, roll a perception check. She has him in.
I was going to say Dixie translate. One. I rolled a 1.
One. You got no idea what he's talking about.
Ditsy, what's he talking about?
Ditsy says, I didn't even think he was talking. What was that? Christopher finishes the bacon in his mouth, makes a big swallow, and says,
So, basically, in the future, I made an error. in the future, we need to make sure that Davina has a bed. Because she didn't know that she was part of the team.
I had a spare bedroll. You should have just asked.
Yeah. Ah,
think we
she
all
never
do.
thought to. She thought she was overstepping her mark. Okay, so we need to make sure that Davina's comfortable.
Because you've been bullying us recently.
Davina just
Right.
says, I'm used to sleeping on the streets.
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Yeah, next time just ask us.
I use this opportunity to
She
build
nods.
a friendship
Davina
with
nods
Davina.
enthusiastically.
I'm going to use this opportunity to build a friendship with Davina.
Okay.
I turn to her and say, Davina, sweetheart, you're one of us. Wait, just ask. Just, even if you're embarrassed to ask the boys, just come to me. I'll look after.
I'd like you to make a lunatic check.
13.
13. Davina thinks that despite the fact that you terrify her, oh no, she's not terrified. But despite the fact that you intimidate her, she feels safer around you because you clearly are nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're saying you're going to look after her, she thinks that you'd probably throw yourself off a cliff to do it. So she gives a smile and tucks back into her eggs and bacon, which is the best meal she's had in quite a long time.
All right, now down to the order of the day. So, cartographer.
Person who makes maps.
Yes.
The map.
Trismane.
Me? No?
Trismane, are you unhappy being cartographer?
Yeah, I don't know my way around shit.
I'll be the
cartographer.
Yeah, I'll be the cartographer.
Wingway is in the carriage asleep.
Yep, I know, but we all know his role. So, Dragon. Cartographer?
Done.
Excellent.
You got paper and a pencil, Dragon?
Yes.
Will do.
Yeah.
What?
You want plain paper? There's a basket full of it under the bed.
Once you reach second level, Ditsy makes it clear to you, Dragon, that once you reach second level at cartographer, you will unlock fast travel.
Ooh.
What is this back here?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right. Now, as we all know that Wingway has, bear in mind it's just us three talking here. Sorry, Davina, Ditsy, can you fuck off out of earreach, please?
Shall we go and get Wingway?
No. No, it's just myself, Dragon, and Tradesman talking.
All right. The Ditsy and Davina go upstairs.
Yes.
Well, just a few tables away, just so we can talk amongst ourselves without them listening.
Do you point to where you want them to go?
Still downstairs, but out of earshot.
Just point
We're
to
talking
the
about
table, maybe the table that Wingway was doing his shit on in the corner that nobody noticed him doing all night.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
perfect. We also tell the guy that I've already threatened behind the bar and then tips to fuck off. And I'm pretty sure he obliges.
He's in the kitchen.
Oh, good. I didn't know if he was back behind the bar.
Kitchen is kind of in a room behind the bar, but you have to come out of the bar and go into a door here to get into the kitchen, which is a larger room than any of the bedrooms upstairs, but not larger than the bar itself, obviously.
All right. So, cartographer, decision maker. Wingway will be the person holding most of the shit. Anything important, Trismane, will be in your possession because I trust you a lot more than Wingway.
Ooh.
Yeah?
Yep.
Sweet. What were the other roles?
Documancer.
Davina.
Now Documancer.
Davina cannot hold the role of Documancer because she is a skilled hireling or an intern.
Unfortunately, Documancer would therefore fall to you, Dresmine. And you will quite enjoy it. Because it does come down to the finer points of what is and isn't allowed. For instance, Davina cannot run off, and you would have full understanding of control over any further hirelings that we would have, and what they can and can't do, and how much possession we have over them.
Also, as you've learned from Ditzy the night before, she would receive and be able to respond to messages from what she's called the Secretarian of Acquisitions Incorporated, and she would be the one to receive new missions that were available.
Excellent. So, as the role as Documancer, what I need you to do is don't necessarily respond to any messages unless I've had a chance to read your response to those messages.
What's Triazamine's deception?
Please.
+3. That's pretty good. Okay, yeah.
I don't think you need.
Oh.
You'll have to roll it.
You want me to roll?
So
You want to be a Documancer, Triazamine?
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll send you all the info at some point.
Awesome.
But yes, it will give you full knowledge of what people can't actually do, especially when they're under our control.
Does this mean I can get rid of the ditzy bitch?
No, unfortunately, she isn't. She hasn't signed a contract with us. She's only signed a contract.
And we need
she's a contractor, for want of a better term.
She's forged your names at Acquisitions Incorporated to make herself a full partner of your group, and is the major domo, which is the secretary who stays home and looks after the holdings whilst you guys are on mission.
But she's fully aware that we can still stab her. So, documency aside, we never sign those contracts. So if it comes to it, and she does decide to fuck us over, she is fully aware that we will stab that bitch up.
Okay. I have a question that is related to the game, but isn't what I want to ask in the game.
Go ahead.
Go.
So, could I, as the Documancer, make up a contract that nullifies all her previous contracts?
Potentially,
no.
But not at level 1.
Okay. Good to know.
You have to gain skill in your ability as Documancer before you can do exceptional things like that. However, it would be your responsibility, for example, to draw up a contract were you to say to somebody, hey, we'll do this mission in exchange for X. You would be the one to write up the contract and they would have to sign it, and then you would keep it and potentially submit it to Acquisitions Incorporated so that they could ensure that it was fulfilled. If it was an Acquisitions Incorporated contract, or if it was just a contract between you and your group.
So, that's all the roles fulfilled?
As long as you, Christopher, are happy with the role as Decisioner.
Yep.
Decisioner, if you've only got 4 people in your group and you vote, the Decisioner gets 2 votes, which means he breaks the deadlock if it's a 2-2 vote.
2-2 tie.
if it's a 2-2 tie, then the decisioner breaks the tie.
Right.
At level, the decisioner is also capable through the powers of the Documancer to requisition various items from Acquisitions Incorporated. But at level 1, the items you're able to requisition are limited.
Excellent. That's good. So, where's the next mission?
Well, Ditsy seems to have a mission for you.
All right.
Have you signed?
Guys,
The Documancer will have to sign you up to all these individual roles. There are documents in the Documancer bag, which each of you can sign in the presence of the Documancer. And
does Tresmin have the Documancer bag on her?
The Documancer bag is on the table, and Tresmin can pick it up.
Right. Should we move to the carriage and sign this shit?
Sounds like a plan.
Should you wish?
Yeah.
Yep. Sweet. Yeah. Yep. Grab the other two from the other table.
Grab her.
Fuck off to the carriage.
Davina.
Sorry.
You taking Davina?
Grab Davina. Yep. And Ditsy. So right, let's get to the carriage.
You taking Ditsy with you?
Yep.
Okay, you can do that.
So what, Ditsy coming or what?
She's like, cool, where are we going?
Don't know yet.
Cool.
Don't know yet, we got some contract to sign.
Ditsy. Sweet.
I'm going to let out the bag
Ditsy, you're
right
up top.
now. Documancer is a hugely powerful role within the group.
Good.
And it gives you the power not only to create contracts, but also to sort of email text the Home Office for extra info. However, since you have made yourself incredibly unpopular with the Secretarian, you may find that you may find difficulty in that area.
I think we'll be fine. Right. So, Ditsy, you're up top with me. Tresmin, sorry. I'll just quickly sign my part of the contract so I can jump up front.
Oh yeah. If Tresmin, you witnessing this contract signing?
Yep.
Good. You put it back into your bag, and you kind of hear a sort of scribbling coming, a sort of scratching and a scritching coming from inside the bag. You open it, you take out the contract, and underneath it just says "Agreed S" in a hand that's in a handwriting that you could only describe as annoyed.
All right. So you guys jump in the back. Ditsy, you and I are up top. Sorry, Ditsy, have you signed this yet?
Ditsy says, I've signed a lot of shit. Yeah, I'm your major domo.
Yeah, but have you signed this contract yet?
What contract?
This
The
one.
major domo of this group.
Yeah, I signed it before I left Waterdeep.
That's it.
Yeah. It's in the Documancer's bag.
Tresmin, can I just see her contact make sure she signed it?
Yep. You take out, Tresmin, you take out a number of contracts, documents, you look through them, and one of them has Ditsy's signature at the bottom of it, and it says Major Domo of the Magic Bastards. It has Magic Bastards and an extremely well drawn Batman symbol.
That's not real. That's a well-drawn Batman symbol.
And
I don't believe that for a second.
all of your signatures accompany it underneath. You show it to Ditsy in a kind of what the fuck, and she's like, "What can I say? You want a criminal? You got a criminal."
Cool. Fine. Done. Whatever.
Plus, I didn't like working at that place. I wanted to come with you. This isn't just like I've been sent to look after you. I fucking hated working at that.
Get in the front of the carriage. Get in the front of the carriage before I bitch slap you to fucking high heaven.
Ooh, baby, she says, and walks to the front of walks and climbs on in front of the horse, or behind the horse. But, you know,
yeah, but in front of the horse would just be stupid. Yeah. Dresman, if you can just get everyone to sign in the back, make sure we don't wake up Wingman until he's like ready, because he's had a rough night.
Yeah, that's fine. Very on time.
Okay, signed.
So you guys all in the back, me and Ditsy up the front.
Davina, signature.
Davina's already signed. She's a.
Oh, she's part of our group. She doesn't need to sign.
Yeah, that contract is already in your.
Oh, but can you get her to sign the broken glass policy?
We need Charlie to explain the broken glass policy before Christopher can continue with his explanation of what's going on right now.
Because in the event that there's broken glass on the floor, she needs to put down a sign before she can do anything else.
Okay, and if there's a wet floor?
Same, yeah.
Same deal, okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Ditsy's just like, look, do you need me here? I want to go and get my marbles back.
Okay, cool. Ditsy, get in the fucking front of the carriage or shut the fuck up.
She nods,
preferably
goes to the front of the carriage.
Cool. How's your animal handling, Dits?
Right, I'm meant to be the driver of the Uber.
You do have the best. You do have proficiency in land vehicles. That is true.
The moment, driver.
You're the best.
You might be soon.
You're the best in the group for driving, Drogon. I mean, anyone can drive, but you've got proficiency, which would give you advantage in situations that required you to do certain things, like taking corners very fast, or running people over, or
this is more basically the getaway driver,
or replacing a horse.
Yeah,
yeah.
This isn't a getaway.
Yeah, this is just cruise.
All those years playing Need for Speed, GTA, and Tokyo Drift.
Sellotape your fucking mic to your mouth, or I will come and do it for you.
Right. Ditsy.
You're in the carriage, Ditsy's outside. There is a little...
No, Ditsy's...
No, there's a thing you can open.
No, I've joined Ditsy up top.
Oh, okay, cool. But there is a little a little thing that you can open like that. So if you wanted to talk to the driver and say, "Take me somewhere," you could do that. You know, it's not big enough to put your hand through, but it's big enough to look through and talk to somebody who's driving.
Right. Are there not 2 seats on the front?
There are 2 seats on the front, and you could potentially fit 3 people if 2.
Well, I'm on one of those, and Ditsy's on the other.
Okay.
Yes. So right, Ditsy, where the fuck are we going? You seem to know a lot more about this shit than we do. Where's next?
Well, 2 places really. The mayor's place, the town hall, to discuss with him any benefits. She winks at you, which we might gain from solving the puzzle of Greenwood, and back to the temple to return these rods which we've stolen and which would not endear us greatly to the town were we to keep them.
Oh yeah, I need to go hand that thing back to the monk with the £2 with the.
It's
2.5
only 50 feet away.
At this point, I flip open the little hatch and say, right, do we want to go and speak to the mayor, or should, neither of these seem like a fight, but should we go and do the right thing by returning the shit that we nicked, or should we go and speak to the mayor and one of us will just end up getting wound up and end up trying to stab him anyway?
Dragon, do you want to return your rod now along with two gold 50, or do you want to?
Yes, please. I'd like to do that now.
Okay.
So I have a cat in my face.
And Christopher is frozen.
No, he hasn't.
You're back now, Christopher.
I think he just didn't move.
No, he was frozen for me.
So,
he would have been speaking. Trust me, I know him.
Trismane?
Yeah.
Which one? Temple or mayor?
I'd like to see this temple you two keep talking about.
Ditsy's just like, I'd kind of like to get my ball bearings back.
Fuck your fucking... Alright, fine. Okay. Guys, let's go back to the temple. As you're there, careful of the fucking ball bearings. And if you do happen to pick any up, this dumb little fucking bitch would like them back. Because she's a cheap-ass fucking cunt.
Would you like to Would you like to ride the carriage, the 50 feet to the temple, or would you like to just walk?
No, neither.
You're gonna fly.
No, I'd like Ditsy to ride the carriage the 50 feet to the temple.
You mean drive the carriage the 50 feet to the temple?
Yeah.
Okay. Ditsy does that. It takes about 2 minutes to forward, reverse, forward, reverse,
good,
forward, reverse. And then once she's finally done
3
that,
points with horses.
It's difficult to get horses to walk backwards. And then she finally just drives it. Then for about 10 seconds to the front of the temple.